When you kick a ball, it starts moving, it keeps rolling for some time and then it slowly stops when it hit a wall or the ground. Have you ever thought why did it stop? That's because of a force called friction. Welcome back to my science diary. In this part, we will explore how different forces act on moving object. We already know that force can make things move or stop. But now we will learn how forces like friction, air resistance, upthrust and tension affect the speed, direction and motion of object around us. From car moving on the road to balloon floating in the air, everything moves because of forces. So let's begin the part 2 of our journey and discover how these amazing forces work. Now learn about friction. Can anyone guess what happens when you slide a toy car across the floor or when you rub your hands together? Yes, it gets a little harder to move and sometimes it even stops by itself. This is because of friction. Friction is a special kind of force. It always works to slow down things or stop them from moving. Think about when you run wearing shoes, play soccer, or drive a toy car. Friction acts when two things rub or slide over each other, like your shoes against the ground or car wheel on the road. So, friction is a force that resists motion. It acts whenever objects slide over a surface. Friction always tries to stop or slow down the movement. Without friction, we would keep sliding and never stop. Can you share any example of frictions you notice every day? Maybe when you push a book on the table or when you stop your bike using brakes. Let's remember friction is always there, helping us to walk, play, and even drive safely. So now we know friction is what stops your bicycle when you use the brakes or slows a ball rolling on the ground. So now I have a question for you. What surface do you think have more friction, carpet or ice? Carpet. Yes, you're right. Carpet has more friction than ice because of its rough surface. Because carpet surface is made up of very tiny fibers that are uneven and rough. When you slide something on it, like your foot or a toy, these fibers catch on the object surface and this resists the motions, creating more friction. And on the other side, the ice surface is smooth and slippery. When pressure or heat is applied, a thin layer of water forms on the top of ice, making it even more slippery. This reduces the friction between the object and the ice. Let's try to understand this in a simple way. When you try to run a toy car on a carpet, it stops quickly because of high frictions. And when you try to slide a toy car on the ice, it keeps sliding longer because of low friction. Now let's learn about the two special kind of forces that slow things down. Air resistance and water resistance. Air resistance happens when object move through the air like a parachute falling or a cyclist racing on the bike. The air pushes back against the object and making it harder for it to move faster. On the other side, water resistance is just like air resistance, but it happens in the water. When someone swims or an object moves underwater, the water pushes back and slows it down. Both air resistance and water resistance are two types of drag. They always act against the direction of movement, trying to make things go slower. Think about dragging a flat piece of paper or a crumbled one. The flat one float down slowly while the crumbled one fall quickly. That's because of air resistance. Or imagine how much harder you have to push your hand underwater compared to waving it in the air. That's water resistance at work. Can you think of other fun example where you notice this force in everyday life? So now let's learn about the thrust. Thrust is a special force that pushes something forward. Imagine what happened when a rocket blasts off, an aeroplane zooms in the sky, or a car drives down the road. They all move forward because of thrust. Thrust is made by the engines or a strong push. For example, a plane's engine pushes air backward or the plane moves forward. On the other side, rocket work by shooting hot gases out the back, which pushes them up into the space. Like car get thrust when their engine turn the wheels to push them on the road. So thrust is a forward push that moves things like car, planes, boats and rockets. Can you think of other things that use thrust to move? Maybe a toy boat or a speed boat, or even when a swimmer pushes off the pull wall. Thrust helps the vehicles start, speed up, and keep going forward. Now we will learn about two another important type of forces, upthrust and tension. So, children, first we take the upthrust. Upthrust is the upward force from the water or air that helps the object float. For example, a hot air balloon and a basketball. In a hot air balloon, it rises in the air because of upthrust, and a basketball float on the water due to the same upward force. The another that is tension. Tension is a pulling force found in the ropes, springs, or a cable. Imagine pulling a toy wagon with a rope. The rope feels tight because it is under tension. So upthrust help things float while tension help us pull or lift object while ropes or cable. Can you think of more example of upthrust or tension in everyday life? Scientists measure the forces with a spring balance just like weighing a fruit at the market. The standard unit is the Newton. Let's fill in this table together. Think when you brake hard, does the car slows down or turn? Gravity makes the apples fall faster. Can you spot which forces change directions and which change speed? Now it's a quiz time. Who can tell me why we don't fall off Earth? What pushes or pulls a moving car? Let's list contact and non-contact force. So this is the little homework. You can write your answer in the comment box. Let's go on a force hunt at home. Look for the things that need touching to work and the things that do not. Remember, every movement involves forces, so ask questions and observe carefully. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, then do like, share, and subscribe my channel. And
Bye bye. Namaskar. Please subscribe and share and like.